Yeah, well, you know what I was going to ask you too before we wrap this part up, or not wrap this part up, but before we go and start talking a little bit more franchise tag stuff, you brought up Devin Bush and you said with him, we would have to just get another linebacker. My question to you is this. What's the biggest difference between the reason why we give all these chances to Devin Bush versus Joe Schobert? Because didn't they both kind of endure the same situations? And we could kind of paint a picture that Joe had a little bit more on his plate as well when you put all of it in context, right? Because we say with Devin,
bring Schobert back.
Well, I'm saying why not? Because think about this, right? With Devin,
he's got to take a pay cut.
No. It would. But listen, but this is my thing. You would obviously have to restructure his deal, right? But if you look at both cap hits, it's not too far fetched for either party, is it? And I think it was clear last year that, granted, Joe Schobert had a down year for his standard, but he was still our best inside linebacker.
And most consistent.
Yeah. And then when we talk about Devin, what do we say? Oh, well, Devin struggled because the D-line in front of him. Devin struggled because his coach's wife passed. Well, didn't Joe Schobert play behind that same D-line? And he played even more because, remember, they didn't start rotating him out until the end of the season. They were rotating Devin out a lot earlier. So it's like he had to deal with that. He had to deal with his coach's wife passing.
Wasn't as glaring throughout the season.
Absolutely. Right. But it's so
like
funny to me.
Playing average to above average.
Yeah. But it's in this, like I said, this was a down year for Joe. That's the crazy part because we talked about him in Cleveland. It's like, yo, we've already seen him be a Pro Bowler. We've already seen him get the big contract. Whereas with Devin, we're still hoping that he can tap into potential. But we're so willing to, like I said, stay and make the money work for Devin. But I'm just like, why are we so ready to kick Joe Schobert out when Joe was legit?
It's just the contract.
Yeah.
But it's like he wants to come back for half of what he's getting, or
But this is my thing. So half of what he's getting,
something like that.
But in contrast to Devin Bush's contract right now, should he take more or less than that? That you see what I'm saying? Because if you're Joe Schobert, you've already proven yourself.
I want less. If I'm the front office, I do want less, just because.
Now, why is that though?
Being the first round pick.
But who's been more productive as an NFL player though? Who's been already proven? Whereas, like we said with Devin, we're still hoping, and we're excited about Devin because of Brian Flores. Shouldn't we be excited about Joe Schobert because of Brian Flores as well? Like, that's the part for me where I'm just kind of like, why don't we? Like, I just don't understand that part a little bit, you know?
Schobert is a guy, the Patriots, like the Browns would cut Schobert and the Patriots would pick him up, and then he would have a low-key, like, good second half of the season.
He would be Cal Van Noy. He would be Cal Van Noy. He'd be Rob Ninkovich. He'd be one of those type of Teddy Bruschi type. You're like, bro, are you serious right now? And it's like, because he's a good player. He's a smart player. Yeah.
Like the all-pro up in there. Right. Oh, he makes that game pick in the AFC Championship.
Yeah. But yet I'm over here looking like, man, those
are all fair points
because we go through the gamut. Yeah, because I was like, we go through the full gamut of reasons why for Devin. Oh, he had the ACL, and then my rebuttal is, okay, granted he had the ACL, and we understand that. Hey, him coming back, yes, it could have an effect, but what about the impact of being traded 2 weeks before the season, and you don't even get to come here and be Robin? They green dot him the first day. What we say with Devin, it's like, yeah, well, Devin played his best when he didn't have to have the green dot on when he had Vince Williams next to him. It's like Joe didn't even get that opportunity. Joe hopped on the move in training and was like, yo, go drive it. Like, don't even ride. Just now you the captain now. So when it's stuff like that, that's why I really sit back and I'm like, Joe was our best linebacker. Why are we so quick to just get rid of him? Like, man, I'm looking at that. We can restructure that. Like, that's me personally. That's how I've been feeling about it, man.
Okay, so it wouldn't be a cut and then re-sign.
I think you can just restructure.
Well, he's going all the way through 2024 right now. Cap hit for this season is $9 million. So if we cut him, it's only a 1.7 dead cap for us.
Well, then, we'll put it like this. In this situation, then, because of that part of the contract, if they can already talk to him and say, hey, look, this is what we plan to do.
We're going to cut you anyway.
Right, and then just redo the contract that way. That works as well. Or you restructure it. But whatever way, I just think that, man, he is a guy that I would like to keep in-house just because he's already the proven commodity. We've already seen him play at an extremely high level in the NFL. We've already seen him reach that second contract. Whereas for Devin, we're still hoping that he can return. But even him returning, we still never got him to tap into that full potential just yet as a rookie. So that's the part for me where I'm like, man, I don't know. Do we hang all our hat on Devin where we still already have a guy like Joe who, man, when we start talking about some of these linebackers that we've been talking about, what if we paired them with a Joe Schobert versus a Devin Bush? What does that look like? So that was some of the things, like I said, that just, made me want to think about it a little bit. And I understand the age element. I understand that.
So you're talking about trading Devin Bush then, if we bring back Schobert. I'm
not even there just yet, honestly. Like, I don't feel like that has to happen, but that is something that I would obviously need to look into, because if you move from, you still have a hole there, but what if you bring in a guy and now you got competition? Because let's not act like we didn't draft Jarvis Jones and then a couple years later draft Bud Dupree. Are they not both first round draft picks? Were they not both under their rookie deals when we drafted both of those guys at the exact same time? So it's stuff like that that makes me just wonder, why can't we do something similar? Why can't we, figure out a way to make this work? Because I know, granted, we didn't have the biggest contracts in that linebacker room, but it was still plenty of us inside and outside that had deals done already when we drafted Bud Dupree. So that's the part for me where I'm just kind of thinking about that. How could we maximize this situation without having to do a complete overhaul or a complete betting on a Devin Bush and a rookie to come in here and really, play to the extent that we want them to play?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So Schobert for me, I'm looking at the other numbers for him in 2023, the cap hit's 11 million, then 2024 cap hits also 11 million, 11.7 million. So a little bit more than even 2023. I don't think he's a dude that's worthwhile to do the whole restructuring this year to clear up cap space, because then all of a sudden that cap hit's just going to be more and more in 2023 and then 2024 as he's getting up there in age. So that's why I like the whole idea of bro, we're just cutting you. You want to re-sign here for $4 million a year, $5 million a year, something like that.
No, I can see that, man. I can see that.
Because having 13, 14, $15 million cap hit from Joe Schobert in 2023 to 2024.
No, I feel you on that. That would definitely suck.
Bad business.
Yeah, that would definitely suck right there, without a doubt. Like I said,
that was one of the things that was glaring right off the bat from the deal with the Jaguars is his big contract. Whenever you looked in it, it was no, there's basically a clean cut after this year where there's no dead cap. It looks like they restructured his deal last year a little bit to where there's a voidable year, and I think it's 2025. Okay. Yeah, it's 2025. So that's why you have a little bit of the dead cap now and $1 million next year. And then also 500,000 in the last year of the deal. But that's the only reason. So it's still basically nothing.